Will's story. Will used to love police cars. He loved the loud sirens and the flashing lights. He and his brother used to play together, pretending they were policemen. He'd shout, "Nino," as they ran through the house. But today, the police cars parked outside his house were scary, and the sirens and lights made him feel afraid. Will didn't know why they were there. Will couldn't look away from the strange people in his kitchen. There were two police officers in uniforms with radios, a man and a lady. It was all so confusing. The adults were all talking together in a quiet voice, but no one was talking to him. The policewoman said she was a family liaison officer. "My job is to help and support you. I am so sorry to meet you under these circumstances," she said. She seemed like a nice lady, but she said a lot of things that Will didn't understand. Will knew something bad had happened because he hadn't seen Dad cry before. The policeman's radio crackled. The man said sorry and turned it off, and the room was quiet again. "Where's Ivan?" Will asked. His voice broke the silence. Everyone turned to look at him. Nan ushered him out of the room. She put her arm around him and took him outside to the yard. "Why is Dad crying? Why are these people here, Nan?" He looked up at her with big empty eyes. It was a gloomy day. The grey clouds hung like a blanket in the sky, cloaking the sun's rays. "Come on, love. Let's go for a walk," she said, giving herself some time to think. There were cows in the fields by the house. They grazed lazily by the fence, undisturbed by the nearby footsteps. Will looked at Nan, waiting for her to explain. "There has been an accident," she told him, "and Ivan has died." The words were really hard to say, and Will could tell she was trying to be brave for him. Will listened and tried to understand, but he just felt more confused. It didn't make sense. "Why? He was here this morning. He was feeding the cows. Where's he gone? Make him come back," he cried. His words flashed with sudden temper. Nan held out her arms, inviting Will to come close to her for comfort. But Will was angry. It just wasn't fair. He didn't want a hug. He just wanted to run. He felt the bracing wind against his skin and the cold air prickling against his eyes. He could hear Nan shouting for him to come back, but he didn't care. He was so confused. He ran for the bottom fields, far away from the house and his parents and the police officers in his kitchen. Several days passed before Will felt ready to talk to anyone about his brother Ivan. The terrible accident had happened, but nothing had stopped. There had been visitors. Relatives and neighbours had called, but Will knew they felt awkward and the conversations were uneasy. Over time, there were fewer visitors and the days became longer and quieter. They had to do all the jobs on the farm without Ivan, and that most probably was the hardest thing of all, learning to do everything without him. Nan knew that, more than anything, Will needed to talk about it. He wouldn't be able to make sense of his feelings if he didn't speak about them. Nan encouraged him to share his thoughts, but Will just didn't know how to start to talk about it. He and Ivan had argued just before Ivan had gone out of the farmhouse and had never come back. Will was Ivan's younger brother. He knew he was sometimes annoying to his older siblings, but now he missed him terribly. Just at that moment, with Nan being so kind to him, it was all too much. "It's okay to cry, Will. You let those tears fall. Nan softly said. It's so hard and I miss him too. You just tell me what you're thinking about. Will had to be brave to say aloud the one thing that had been on his mind since it happened. His words, a sad confession, tumbled out. I said something horrible. I said I hated him because he was being mean to me, but I don't hate him, Nan. I just want him to come back. If I say sorry, and I promise not to do it again, can you make him come back, please? If I just say sorry. Will cried heavy and sad tears. Oh, Will, I wish more than anything that I could make him come back. I love him so much, just like you, but it doesn't work like that. He's your brother, and you will always love him, but we can't change what's happened. Nan's voice was steady, calm, and honest. But I want to talk to him. Anger and confusion started to well up inside him again. Nan put her arms around him to stem the tide. They sat together for a while, just thinking about Ivan. Later that night, Nan thought of a way to help Will. He needed a way to channel all of his confused feelings. Will, let's make a memory jar, she said. We can put in the jar all of those things that we want to say to Ivan, or things that remind us of him. You can put in your photographs, and we could write a letter to Ivan. I know that it's hard, because he's not here and you really want to talk to him. If you say the words, I will write them down for you. Or you can draw a picture. How about it? Will gave a gentle nod, accepting the idea quietly. Spending his time drawing, colouring and collecting his most precious things gave him something to focus on. Over time, the family came together and there was hope. They missed Ivan a great deal. Although they had said goodbye, there were still a lot of questions, but the memories were theirs to keep. Some days, Will put the lid on the jar because he was feeling too sad to look at the pictures, letters and all of the little things that reminded him of Ivan. Other days, he thought of different memories and put something new in the jar so that the memory could be treasured. In the coming months, Will helped Dad to feed the calves. Smaller steps and bigger shoes. It was still tough, but he wanted to help him. They wanted to help each other. Being together, talking and sharing their memories made it easier to cope.